History repeats itself. It fails to die. You are now tuned into But What Is Life podcast, the ride to relax, relate, and release into reality where things get fun, real, and the advice is unsolicited. What's up? It's your girl, Ani, and I'm back to relax, relate, and release into yet another episode of But What Is Life. How y'all doing today? I hope y'all doing great because I am doing amazing. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Fabulous.
All right. Do you want to go ahead and pour the wine?
Do.
So, as you can see, we have Miss Ultraviolet, a.k.a. Dominique, here again, okay? So, today's episode is all about the wine, great conversation, and then we have a little card game to kind of help us out. So, we switched it up a little bit. So, this is not sponsored, but for the owner of Pop and Talk, hit your girl up.
Just in case. Just in case.
Right. So this game is called Pop and Talk. Let's talk about it. I've played this with my mom, my sister, one of my sisters, my brother, and my best friend a couple months ago. It was a nice little game. They have, some surface level questions and then some questions that get a little deep. So we are going to go ahead and relax, relate, and release into all these cards one by one. We're going to pick 5 cards. They will be random. And then, see how this goes.
I'm excited. Let's see.
Alrighty. Now, I already, okay, that's fine. So, I already kind of shuffled this a little bit, like a couple days ago. Okay. So, that little, this little shuffle
that's
that I'm doing.
Just a little backdoor shuffle.
It's good.
Yeah. It's good.
So, before we go ahead and get started, let me go ahead, because you already,
I did. I wanted to sample.
Is it good?
It is good, actually.
I love me a red. Oh, this is bitter.
It's bitter.
Ooh, see, I'm not a bitter girl.
You're not a bitter girl? I told you I've never had this wine, though. So I didn't know what it was.
I just hope that I'm not because I can't, like sip
you want me to tell
this.
You?
So I'm probably going to be guzzling this.
It's 14%. It's a good little strong wine. I like it, though. And I don't really like bitter wines.
It's not that bad.
Mm-mm.
I feel like if it was chilled.
It was when I took it out of the refrigerator. That was a couple hours ago. It was chilled. It's a little cool
now. If it was chilled, I feel like it will be that much better too. Yeah.
Even with a little fruit.
Right. Mm-hmm. Kind of like a sangria type of situation. Yes.
That would be really good. I like it, surprisingly.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I've had bad.
Yes, me too.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into this, shall we? Okay, this is kind of like, not all that, but Foxy or Lil Kim, and why?
Are you asking me? Or are you asking yourself?
No, we're both going,
Oh, we're both going to answer the question. Okay, okay. Lil Kim. Just because I really wasn't a Foxy fan as a child.
I really wasn't. Well, I like her songs, but like as of late, I have been into the song with her and Jay-Z.
Which one?
What is it called? I'll be you. Something. How nasty can you get?
Yeah, they finna take my black card. I don't know the song. Go on and revoke.
All the way from the hood to the neck of your woods.
I thought I knew a lot of Jay-Z songs. I don't know that one.
Well, it's
She
her,
was
it's
the
her
bomb.
song.
Oh, it's her song with Jay-Z featured.
As a matter of fact, pull out your phone.
Pull it up.
Yeah.
I like her. The main song I probably know her on is "Touch Me, Tease Me." Mm-hmm. I know that one, the remix.
I've really been into that song as of late.
But that's gonna be better than Lil Kim.
No, I'm just saying, like, just recently, like, I've just been so into that song.
Okay.
You don't remember that?
Let me see. Cause I don't want to lie.
But I would say Lil Kim.
Yeah.
And the reason why I would say Lil Kim is just because, I don't know, she was that big.
Yeah, she was. She was holding it down. I mean, Foxy Brown was good too. I just wasn't, as a child, because I was a child at this time. I can't say I was just really bumping Foxy Brown like that. I can't say. But, I mean, that goes back to it being, you know, a lot of the things that we listen to now is based on what our parents listen to.
Right.
And my parents weren't bumping no Foxy Brown.
My mom definitely was not bumping no Foxy Brown or
Lil Kim.
Honey. She was bumping Whitney Houston.
I'm dead. Not Whitney.
But, honey, Jump Off, Lil Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, that was my shit, my video.
Yes.
I absolutely love that song.
So good. My Lil Kim song is definitely Crush on You.
Really?
Easily. Front to back, sideways, upwards, down.
Yeah.
The whole shebang.
Yes. I mean, you can't go wrong with that, though.
You can. I'm never tired of it.
It's it.
Mm-hmm.
Timeless.
I will never be on Halloween, though, because it's just been done.
Yeah.
It's been done. It's not even giving a surprise anymore.
It's not.
No.
It's not. Because, I mean, and then when you think about it, like, just with the female rap artists today, like, they're just recycling all of those looks and trying to make it seem like they were the originators.
Right.
No, you weren't. You weren't.
Let's not even look, because the barbs is gonna come flying out.
Come out.
They're gonna come flying out from the back.
Please.
Ready to
with
defend their queen.
Wig, your blonde and pink wigs. Okay, come.
Down the middle.
All the smoke.
It's gonna be down the middle, blonde and pink.
At the end of the day, Nikki, it is what it is.
I like Nikki. It's just
yeah, but we know where you got from.
Right. We just have to give respect where it's due.
Exactly.
That's it.
She paved the way.
Did.
Okay. In your clique, there is always a type. Which type are you? Bougie, pretty, the good girl, the goofy one, the hood one, or the classy one? Why do you feel this way?
That's a lot of options.
Yes. So bougie, pretty, the good girl, the goofy one, the hood one, or the classy one?
If I had to pick one, I would say that they would probably pick for me. And they'd probably call me bougie, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But they'd also call me the hood one too. One of my friends, she always tells me that I'm actually hood, but God gave me a nice face. But she will tell me just like that, you're a hood, but God gave you a good face for it. So I'm like, I'd probably be like in a mix of them, I would think. If I had to pick, I'd say I'm the goofy one, just because I like to laugh.
Right. If I were to, okay, let me just say this. I really don't want to pick one because I feel like I fall in the category of
many.
Yeah. I mean, hands down, I'm pretty, period. I mean, that's just a God given.
That's a given, though. Yeah.
But first of all, what is a pretty friend? The one that's always in the mirror?
I don't know. I don't know why they put that like that.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Like the pretty one, so all the rest of the friends is just
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like all my girlfriends are beautiful. Okay, period. That's just it. But I would say I am definitely the goofy one first. I would say I'm the good girl. And a little bouge.
If I had to pick for you, I'd pick the good girl.
Really?
I would.
Why do you say?
I don't know. That's just the feeling that I get. If I had to pick for you, I'd say the good girl.
I would definitely, for you, I guess I would do bougie too.
Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate. It's truly unfortunate that people would pick me as bougie because I'm not. I'm as cheap as they come.
But you know what? I feel like when I say bougie for you,
not like
it's
uptight.
Yeah, it's not like you're above anyone. It's just your standards. Like you are a very particular person. It's like, oh no. Mm-hmm. Oh, we can't do that.
Oh yeah. Now these are the facts. Now those are the facts for sure. So yeah, bougie B.
Now it's so crazy because like when I moved here, like Portia, she used to call me bougie, and I'm like, how?
Yeah, I
think it's certain things that I may say that may come off like, ooh, I'm better than that, but that's not really what I mean.
What you mean, right?
Because my friend Brittany, her and like her friends that I met, they were saying that I was bougie too, and I'm just like, where are y'all getting this from? Like, I don't feel like I'm a bougie person. I feel like it doesn't come off.
People can be very wrong about people when when Portia first met me, and she's not the only person to say this. When she first met me, she thought I was a bitch. Like,
really?
She told me that out of her own mouth. She thought I was a bitch when she first met me. But she's not the first person to say that to me.
But wait, how do people get that?
I don't know.
I get bubbly, like, meet no strangers, nice. Now, you are that person where it's like, you're not taking no shit.
Right. But I don't feel like I give bitch.
No, not bitch at all. Like, because, I mean, when you think about it, when we were...
What?
When we were at Ebony, like, when you were talking to old girl, you was like, "Oh, and you inviting people to the table?" But it came, no, it was not. It did not give me bitch at all. It was just like, you know, this is my table. I allowed you to sit here,
and
but
you inviting folks.
You're doing a little bit much. But I feel like it was still nice in a way, because it didn't come off like, why you letting people sit at my table?
But
it was just like,
I
know that's how you felt, but it didn't come off that way.
Okay, good. As long as it didn't come out of my mouth that way.
I don't feel like it came off that way.
I'll take it. But I've heard it a million times. When I met Eris, same thing. Remember I told you he said that he thought I was an a-hole?
Really?
Or that I was mad. He didn't say a-hole because you know.
Yeah.
But he was like, I thought you were mad or you were upset. Somebody else called me an a-hole, to not be mentioned. But but no, he was like, you had an attitude and you was mean. And I was like, I was.
Yeah, I don't see how he got that.
I didn't feel a toot at all. Like I wasn't even mad.
Because it was just like, hey.
Right. I mean, I thought I was giving good energy, but people say this to me all the time, so
that's crazy.
It is what it is.
I don't really get much from like just random people, like a certain type. People just tell me it's okay to smile.
I know.
I walk around like with a resting bitch face. But
I know it's okay to smile, but I don't care to right now.
Right. It's just like, who walks around smiling?
Yeah, just
no.
It's okay.
Not giving.
It's a great day still, but I'm not going to do all that.
It's definitely a great day, but
this is not a Disney movie.
Yeah, it's definitely not. No, we don't need to do all that.
No. We're going to skip because that's unimportant. You can look at it. Oh, this is a good one. Skip worthy, okay, right? Yeah. So this one says, name 3 things you can no longer settle for and why. That's a good one.
This is so crazy because I literally sent this to my friend.
Okay.
Like a couple weeks ago. Okay.
Are we talking relationship wise?
No, it could be anything.
Anything? Okay.
Anything. Me personally, where I'm at, just where I am, it's all about me. So, you know, number one, I'm no longer settling for not pushing myself to my fullest potential.
Okay.
What doesn't bring me peace?
That's a good one.
Like, because at the end of the day, it's my responsibility to maintain my peace. Mm-hmm. So if something or someone is causing a disturbance, mm-hmm. No.
Right, absolutely.
We're not settling for that.
Mm-mm.
And a third one would be no longer settling for not being like consistent with like my confidence in myself. Like, because I feel like I may come off like a certain type of way, but I mean, everybody's their own worst critic. Mm-hmm. But I feel like before all this growth, it was just, ma'am.
Right.
How are you getting through the day?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how? So since I've been on this journey of practicing positivity and being the best version of myself, it's like I'm always looking at myself in the mirror like, okay, and you have to have confidence too.
You do.
So those are 3 things for me.
Let's see if I come up with a third. Right now I have 2. Relationship wise, I'm not settling anymore for busy. I'm busy. Or I had a lot to do today. I'm not, I mean, that could be okay, but the too busyness will not work for me anymore.
Right.
And that's not to say that you can't be busy or that you can't have a life, but when it's consistently like that,
right,
I have to leave.
Yeah.
Unless you're willing to fit me into your day-to-day life.
Right.
But I've come across dudes like that, so that's definitely not settling for that anymore. Not settling for words. I need actions.
Oh, yes.
I'm not settling for words anymore. They need to match. And that's very important because I feel like I personally do get caught up in words, or I'll even get caught up in the small things like, oh, he thought to do this for me, or he thought to do this for me. But if everything else is not adding up, these little things can't matter anymore. These little words that you're dropping in my ear can't matter if everything else is not aligning with it. So,
because talk is cheap.
Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. I cannot settle for you just saying, I want to be with you. I want you to be my girlfriend. I want. You want. But when we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So can't settle for that no more. If we ain't doing this on a timely schedule, then I just need to leave.
Right, because who wants to waste time?
Exactly. And I don't know if I have a third one. Let me make a third one up. Something real quick I don't need to settle for. I don't need to settle for, I think just in general, I don't need to settle for lies. And I have a weird description of that because I'm the type of person that if I know somebody lies to me, I typically won't say nothing. I want to see how far you finna push that lie.
Right, yeah.
All the way to the end. I want to see it all the way through. Like, how far you finna push this? I want to know. And instead of me doing all of that, I probably should just halt it.
Right, yeah.
And just let it go. Instead of me trying to push it all the way through, trying to see how much of a liar is you. But that's just me being toxic. Yeah, you know, I just want to see, I want to know how far
this game with you.
How far we gonna go with it? And I'm finna run it with you. Oh yeah, really?
Right.
For real, I'm finna run the game right on with you, and I probably should just dip out, or at least just let you know I know the lie.
Right.
Or just leave because it doesn't matter, you know, if I tell you, right? I know it's a lie. So yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
And you know what? Going back to your first one, when you were saying that
the busy.
Yeah, the busy. Because at the end of the day, especially when you're first meeting somebody, especially if it is on a romantic, well, actually, it doesn't really matter whether it's romantic relationship or a friend or just like a platonic friendship. At the end of the day, everybody has to put in their effort. So if you're always busy and you're not even making an effort to, you know, check out your calendar to figure out where I fit in.
Yeah.
What is the point?
What's the point? Are we really actually friends? And I know it's very comfortable for people to be like, well, my friends understand because we can go months without talking. And that is fine if both parties are okay with that. But if I'm the party that's constantly reaching out to you and I'm trying to hang, I'm trying to do this, but then months go by and we ain't kicking it, why am I friends with you? For what?
I'm terrible at that.
Are you? And you're right. Yeah.
I'm terrible.
These are the things that you do, and you. Yes. Really.
You know, I have gotten so like comfortable with calling myself out. I mean, it is what it is.
But see, it's different if during that time you're going through something. And if I don't have the capacity to communicate to you that I'm going through something, then I have to be okay with risking losing that friendship because the other person may get tired of reaching out to me or wanting to talk to me. If they're constantly trying to talk to me and I don't give them anything back, I would have to risk that if I'm not able to communicate to them like I'm going through something right now. And then once I'm past whatever it is, you know, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna say my truth. I'm really sorry, and hopefully they'll understand.
Right? Yeah.
But we can't do the busy.
Yeah,
I can't do the busy.
But you know, I've been pretty good at, especially last month, with my circle. I was pretty good with, you know, bringing attention to the fact that I had to take time for myself. So that's something that I'm doing different now. Versus in the past, it would just be like I'm that person that goes, and then I'll come back around as if nothing ever happened.
Hey girl,
because I just like to sit in my shit by myself. Like I've never really liked to bring my problems to other people. It's just like, no, let me just figure this out on my own, and then I'll come back out to play.
And you know me, I'm such a bring my problems to other people type of person. I am. What do you think? So what do you think this means? I am that, unless it's like something really big. I can say really big stuff that has happened to me. If it's embarrassing, I'm not going to say anything. Or I'll tell like 2 people. But I really just will want to sit with it alone. So I get that.
But for me, I've always been that person that has been holding space for everybody else to come to me. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I kind of just take time for myself, because it's like, well, I'm everybody else's therapist, so
you gotta like, get one for you too.
I know, like that's it's pretty much my mom and my sister Brooke. They're pretty much like
the therapist.
Yeah,
good.
But I don't know. Like it's kind of just like, okay, I don't know, because I feel like the reason why I did that in the past is because, like, if I did bring, you know, my shit to somebody else, it would just be, my sister Brooke was good for this. Like, I would be sitting here talking about something about me, and then she would be like, oh yeah, because I something, and it's like, but it's not about you.
Yeah. We're good. People are good for throwing in their story in the midst of me telling mine.
Right. And it's like, I understand that sometimes, depending on the conversation that's needed, just so you can see it from another perspective. But I don't know. It's just like, okay, but I don't want to talk about you.
Yeah, I don't.
I want to talk about me.
We can come back to you later.
And I just feel like nobody really handles me like I handled them. So, yeah. That's pretty much
fair.
But I'm trying to get comfortable with dumping my shit on everybody else.
Oh, I'm a dumper. Easily. But I dump to the same like 5-6 people. I always dump to the same people, but I'm definitely a dumper. I don't really have much in my closet. I really don't, because somebody somewhere knows something.
See, I don't like to talk about it in the midst of it happening. Okay. I'm that person where I'll just bring it up in random conversation, like, oh yeah, this one time, and it's just like,
it's
bitch,
old.
Where was I?
Right,
yeah,
it's old.
Old. This is stupid.
Oh yeah, I don't even care to talk about whomever.
Okay.
Oh,
this is a good one.
Oh my gosh, I gotta pour to that. Would you like?
Oh no, I'm good.
No. I.
Okay, so the question is, how do you deal with not receiving closure? I'll go first. Do you want me to go first? Let me say this. I am definitely that person where once you make me feel some type of way, it is what it is. Like, I won't be too much bothered about whether I'm talking to you, this, that, or the other. It's just like, I've made up my mind. I don't fuck with you. Okay. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I can act as if you don't exist, all that.
Okay.
But if it is a situation where I feel like I didn't get to say everything that I wanted to say, or we didn't even have like
a final combo.
Proper, like a proper finale, that will stay within me. So like whenever that person is brought up, like especially if I'm talking about the situation, like it will come off like very passionate, like, oh, she's still mad about it, or she's in her feelings about it, or whatever the case may be. But that's just because I'm actually saying what I wanted to say that I did not get to say.
Right, to that person.
When it comes to closure, like I have to have a final conversation where we both understand, okay, this is what we're about to do. Because if I don't, I would just harbor those
emotions.
Yeah, that emotion, those final words, I will harbor that. I will just hold on to that stuff. Like, I have not been in practice on like how to disperse that energy. But like at this point,
since we're being very transparent, I do not deal well with not receiving closure. I'm gonna take this in the context of like ghosting. Don't ghost me. Please. Luckily, it does not happen a lot, but I guess because it doesn't happen to me a lot, that when it does happen, it affects me in a big way.
It's a big deal.
Yes, like when it happens, I'm like, so you're not talking to me?
The audacity.
Like, I'm gonna send you a long text message. I'm gonna call you from a fake number. Like if this is a safe space, I'm gonna call you from a fake number. I'm gonna call you from one of the temporary numbers. Because I just want to see, is you gonna answer the phone?
Right.
That's it. I'm not calling to really cuss. I'm not gonna say nothing, but I want to know, is you gonna answer this call?
Right.
Yes, I'm gonna call you from the fake number. I'm gonna send a very long text message or audio message.
Hear my voice.
Yeah.
Hold on to my voice. When you saying it enough.
Because I have things to say. And I'm trying to figure it out. I did get ghosted. When did I get ghosted? The last time I got ghosted was oh my gosh, when was that? I know the dude. I'm trying to remember, when was it that we was talking? I don't know, but was that this year? I don't know, but It did not go well. And honestly, I did not know why there was a ghosting. And because the thing is with me, if you tell me it's not working out and you tell me why, I can deal.
Right, yeah.
I can deal. I'm like, okay. But it's the don't know.
Right. Because me,
yeah,
I will create a whole bunch of scenarios.
Girl, I'm asking, so was it this? Was it this? Was it this?
Right,
exactly. I need to know exactly what it was, and then I can let bygones be bygones.
Right, yeah.
But when you leave me playing a guessing game in my head, that's when the reels start to run. And so I'm not going to deal well with this.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm finna be crazy.
Yeah. Like I will just... that's when my passive aggressive stroll starts.
Oh, well, you know, mine starts for less. It does, unfortunately.
But it's so crazy because depending on who it is and what the situation is, I have different levels to mine.
Okay.
Because if I was really invested, you'll probably be able to figure out, like, okay, she cares. But if I'm not really invested and it's not that deep, I still feel some type of way because we didn't have a final conversation. But I feel like I'm that person where no matter what the situation is, it comes off as if I don't care. Like, I'm good at not necessarily pretending, but I'm good at not allowing other people to see me sweat. Okay. I'm good at that.
I'm not. I have my good thing and my bad thing about myself is I have no pride at all. So that means I don't care if exactly. I'm like, it's a good thing because when I am in a relationship, it's no problems with that. But when I'm not in a relationship, it can be kind of bad because I also have no limits. So that means if I'm gonna call you 10 times, I'm gonna call you 10. You know, I'm not gonna call you 10. I'm gonna call you 10 times. I'm not gonna feel like, oh, I don't want to call them. Why not? Like,
see, the way I be thinking, it's like, hey, you not about to be like, oh, she's pressed. Absolutely not.
See, that's the thing. I don't give a damn if you think I'm pressed.
I do.
Your opinion is the floor for me. Like, I'm gonna call 10 times. I'm gonna call all 10.
You said the floor. Get the bottom of the shoes.
If I feel in my heart I want to call 10, I'm calling 10. And I'm not gonna feel a way about it. I'm not gonna feel like, oh, does he think that I'm crazy? No, I don't care. Answer the phone. Like, that's how I feel. And that it's a good thing and a bad thing. But in the relationship form, it's great because it hinders arguments from happening and different things that could go wrong as far as miscommunication because there is no pride from me that would stop me from being able to communicate.
See, so, I feel like the reason why I probably do that, this is all just straight off the dome. Because of course nobody likes for their feelings to be hurt, but for me, I feel like it's an extra bag of bricks when it's like I tell you how I feel and you still don't handle me with care.
That means it's
I have a problem with that because at that point, that's when I will actually go like ballistic.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, so I just informed you of this and then you still do that?
And see, that's my other character flaw is I walk away very easily because if they do that, I'm like, okay. You know, I'm not getting what I need here, so let me go.
I cut people off easily too.
It's not good though.
It's not, because
I'm like, how am I ever gonna get married if I'm cutting off because of a small thing?
Right.
You know, we don't deal well with not receiving closure, basically.
But you know, I think why that if we gonna go deeper, it's. I believe that it stems from my daddy issues. Okay. The fact that, you know, I grew up and there was just absolutely no knowing of why this or why that. Shameless plug. If you have not listened to the first season, Daddy Issues, I don't know exactly the episode, go back and listen to that. But I think that's where it really stems from. Because it's like, you know, my dad had no regard for my feelings. And
you didn't get any closure.
You know, all of that. And so it was just like, okay, well, we're going to do the same thing. Like, I have no regard for what your feelings are, what, how you may perceive what I'm doing or whatever the case may be. It's just like, I'm doing this because this is what I want to do. And I just have no regard for you. So it's just like, snip.
Yeah. I think I cut off easily because I don't want to stay too long and get my feelings hurt.
Yeah, that too.
I feel like if I had to narrow it down, I'd say that I have a fear of me being in a 10-year relationship and it doesn't work out. Like that bothers me. And so if I feel like I'm going to give this too much of my energy and then I'm going to end up hurt in the end, I'm going to just go ahead and cut it off at first notice. Yay. But it doesn't mean that it's, you know, just because I'm getting first notice doesn't mean it's going to be like that the whole thing. But just the thought.
Yeah, it's the thought.
I'm like,
Because I just run with that thought and it's like, okay, this will be the after effects of that.
Yeah.
Like that was really my whole thing when I had, the last time I cut my friend off, my real good friend, we just got back, you know, talking last year. Like I didn't want it to become a thing where I felt like, you know, I would be hurt in the end because she had to pick and choose. So it was just like, okay, well, the best thing to do here is for me to just, you know, go my separate way.
And we shouldn't do that.
And that is toxic as fuck.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that, because but it's the truth. I
didn't even give her the space to, you know, to show me
that she could
what
do
it
both.
would be. Yeah. So it was very unfair. But, you know, like I said, no regard.
None. Don't care about that.
What was that?
I don't have any kids. Oh, this is a good one.
I think this should be the last one.
The last one?
I think we did a couple.
This is a good last one.
Okay.
What's the hardest part about dating you? That's a good one.
Ooh, I've never seen that.
That's a good one.
First of all, a lot of these I've never seen just going through this day.
Okay, I like that one.
I really like that because I actually just saw a meme on Instagram. I think it was yesterday, and it was just like, "Would you date you?"
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Okay, so what's the hardest part about dating me? Just talking.
Whatever you feel like that's very hard about it with you.
I would gather to say that I really don't know at this time because I've done so much work on myself that I'm actually, you know, anticipating the time where I can see just how much I've grown from, you know, the things that I would have done in my last relationship
to now.
Versus now. So, I mean, God is still withholding him.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's coming.
Yeah, he's coming.
Yeah.
He's coming. I really feel like at this point he has gotten lost. But if I was just for the sake of just throwing something out there.
Okay. Don't say mine, because I know mine without a doubt.
The simple fact that the simple fact, and this is basically going off of my past.
Okay.
If, say, like, we're not agreeing on something and it doesn't go the way I would like it to go, or the fact that it just seems impossible for us to get over that, it's time to move on.
So you cut it off too easily. You say all that to say I cut him off too easily. That's the hardest thing.
It's just the sign of problems. It's time to go. And because I've never, like, my mom did not show me working through issues with the opposite sex. I didn't see that growing up. I just saw my mom being strong and doing it all by herself. So it's just like, okay, well, if you're going to make this hard for me, I can do bad all by myself.
Right. Very true.
That will be
the hardest thing. I have two hardest things that I know about myself. For one, I'm an extreme overthinker. And I read too much into everything. You could say the smallest thing to me, and I promise you, I might overthink it. I might overread into it. I just might. Yeah. And I do work on it, but I know that it does make it difficult to date me because it's just like, I never want somebody to feel like every time they say something to me, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And so I do feel like that is a hard thing about dating me is that. The other hard thing about dating me is I like to get my way.
So you're a diva.
In a sense, like once I have, me and my best friend talk about this all the time. I kid you not. When I have an attitude, I cannot turn it off like that. Yeah. It's there. And as much as I'll be fighting it, like, girl, just stop being mad. It's over. It's over. I can't. I can't stop it. I need a moment to myself to just kind of process. It's over. It's done. Let it go. And then I can come back. But trying to get me to switch my emotion right then in that second is very difficult for me. Yeah. Especially if it's not something going my way. If it's not something going my way, I'm tootie.
Because you feel like you're giving in to them.
I don't even know. I think it's just a little bratty. Yeah. I think it's just a little bratty, and it is something I'm also working on. But if I'm being transparent, these are flaws in myself that I am actively working to fix, but I know that they exist in me. And you know,
that's actually the good thing, that you know they exist versus you just thinking, oh, I'm fine. Right. Because, you know, we have a lot of people out here that just jump into situation after situation after situation, never heal themselves, never, you know, take a look in the mirror to say, okay, what did I contribute to the falling out of what just happened? You know,
they'll blame the other person.
Yeah, it's always easier to blame the other person. Now, if I was to throw like another flaw of mine out there, it would definitely be that I like to argue. So if
you like it,
yes, and I feel like that statement can be misconstrued. It's not the fact that I actually like arguing, because I don't like conflict. Okay. But if you bring it to my doorstep, I am definitely the person that is going to fight to finish it. So I won't necessarily come to you and start some shit, depending on what it is.
Right.
But that's fair. But then again, it's just me being passive aggressive, because I'm actually starting it, but I'm starting it without actually starting it. So it would just be my attitude, and it's just like, okay, what's wrong with her? Exactly. And then I will be that person where it's just like, you know, it's funny how, and it's just like,
see, I won't do that. You've seen me. When if he asks me what's wrong with you, I'm gonna say nothing. A beat.
It depends. I'm gonna say nothing. It depends, because sometimes I'm actually waiting. I'm waiting for you to say, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" And then other times it's just like nothing. But then it's just like I'm actually coaching myself in the process. Like, say it. You know, that was something that I've always had a hard time, you know, doing for myself, which is asserting myself in situations. So, you know, once you kind of open that door, once you turn that doorknob and, you know, creak it up, is anybody there?
Somebody's there.
And then that's when it's just, I'm wreaking havoc.
Yeah, somebody's here.
And I'm going to keep going because at that point, it's just, I'm on a mission to prove that I'm right.
Yeah. I'm on a mission.
In a relationship, it's just
that's not good.
It's not good. Like, you don't always have to be right. Yeah,
exactly.
It's not about being right. It's about being in that situation and trying to figure out what works for everybody.
Us. And that's very true, because that's where the prideless thing works for me, because I don't care about being right. I really care about being heard. Mm-hmm. Like, if you didn't hear or understand where I at least came from, I'm gonna still be bothered, because that's all I'm asking for. You don't have to agree with me, you don't have to think that I'm right, but at least hear me and understand me, because I'm gonna hear you and I'm gonna understand you,
right?
You know, even if I don't agree with you, I'm like, okay, well, I get it, you know, that's your opinion, that's the way you see things, cool, but I need that same thing back from me.
Yeah,
that's it.
And that's my problem, because I feel like my feelings trump everything else. And it's like, at the end of the day, feelings are not facts.
They not, girl.
Like, they're definitely a fact because the feeling is valid. But at the end of the day, that's not the most important thing in this.
But can we talk about that? Because sometimes, let's expound.
Please.
Sometimes our feelings are not valid.
Yeah, sometimes there
are situations.
Yeah, and the reason why I say that our feelings are valid is because everybody's experience is different.
That's very true.
Because this is my experience, and that's the way that it looks for me, then in that experience, my feelings are valid. But on the other side of that, just because you felt that way, or because you thought that was what the situation was, in turn making you feel that way, does not mean that that's a fact.
Exactly. So, and that's coming from, the reason I said that is because from an overthinker standpoint, I can have a whole bunch of feelings that are just not valid.
Exactly.
But I just have so many feelings for them. And even though they're my experience, if I'm doing too much of this, it'll get caught up in this. Yeah. And so that's why
then it'll be a jumbled
thing.
Up in this.
It's going to be a
thing.
And
it's just like, watch your mouth.
Calm down. Calm down.
But yeah. Oh, that was a really good question.
I like that one.
That was a really good question. But God, if you are hearing me, I see what you are doing for everybody else.
Yes.
I see. But it is time for me to put my work done on myself to
me too, best. Even though I think you might have sent me my person.
So just do that now.
I've been working.
Just do that now. That's good.
I've been working. I've been working.
Good. Let's go ahead and guzzle.
Girl, I already done guzzled. Like, I got a little drop at the bottom.
Well,
I really like that wine. I would rebuy it. No,
it was okay.
I really like it.
It's just the bitter. It's an okay bitter, but I wouldn't reach for.
You wouldn't?
No.
Oh, I'm not even gonna tell y'all who it is. Because I don't want them to.
We already saw it the whole time.
Oh,
it's okay.
Well, I liked it.
It's okay. I mean, you can show them. Just in case they want to. I mean, because there might be some bitter Bettys listening and watching.
Bitter Betty. It's McBride Sisters. It's a Black woman-owned company.
Period. Go ahead and do that. This is not sponsored either, but Black-owned. We're supporting all. Period.
These are the same sisters that have Black Girl Magic wine. This is just their McBride Sisters collection. But I actually surprisingly like it.
I want to taste the other one.
Which one? I don't like the Black Girl Magic Red Blend.
You don't?
I didn't care for it. It's more bitter than this to me.
Oh, okay. I don't want that.
Yeah, to me. That's why I'm like, oh, this one was surprisingly not as bitter. But their champagne, their Brut is really good. The rosé is really good. And I mean, you really just need this one bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, don't buy two if it's just you.
Well, I'm going to have to check out their sweets.
Check it out.
Because I love me some sugar.
I'm surprised that I really like it because I hate bitter wine.
Yeah. Well, that pretty much wraps up this episode. The random of the day.
Oh. I forgot about this.
Do you have a random?
No. What has randomly happened to me?
The only thing that I would say, which is, we actually kind of touched on it earlier, is that I'm just that person where it's like, I just love my own space.
Mm-hmm.
And I love, like, at this point, I really think it's kind of like OCD, like borderline psychotic.
Mm-hmm.
That I just love being alone.
That's good.
I love spending time by myself.
But see, you love being alone, but at the same time, you do want a partner.
Yes, I do want a partner, but I love my time for me.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like, if my phone rings, it's just like, oh my God, like.
Leave me alone.
Leave it. That is really me. Like, pretty much every time my phone goes off, it's just like, oh, what?
Oh, I'm going to call now. Now I'm gonna call.
You would definitely be the person that's gonna call. Like, oh my gosh.
I will.
But it doesn't. I mean, sometimes I feel like it comes off because I will be very dry. But other times it's just like, okay,
my feelings don't hurt easily though. So even if you were dry or anybody was dry, I really wouldn't be bothered.
It's just like, okay, whatever.
Okay, girl, well, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Like, okay. Talk to you later. I mean, we are humans. It's okay to be in our emotions.
Yeah.
It's okay to feel whatever we're feeling. If I don't feel like talking to you. But
it's psychotic because it's like I never feel like talking.
Oh, ever? This is not true.
No,
we've talked for like hours.
It's not ever.
But you have moments.
But majority of the time, like I would say 98% of the time.
You know, I like being by myself if I'm like out. I don't like being by myself at home.
Oh, at home? No, this is my sanctuary.
And I think it's because, you know, Baxter's there with me, my dog. And I was walking around the other day and we were at the house the whole day. And I was just like, Baxter surely is quiet. Like, he ain't said nothing all day. Like, it's a little quiet up in here. Like, and he's a dog. And I'm sitting here like, he surely is quiet. Like, I need to hear a little something. I really wish he could speak English with me for a second just so we can have a conversation. And so I'm just such a talker and a conversationalist that even I don't mind going anywhere by myself. I'll go anywhere by myself.
See, I have a problem being out by myself.
Oh, I love it.
But at home, no.
At home, I have moments where I do want to be by myself at home, but I have a lot more moments where I'm like, I wish somebody was here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, me is just like, no, don't come over.
It'll change. I was like that at one point. At one point, I didn't want anybody to come to my house or know my address or anything. Like,
oh, I'm still like, it's only literally like you are one of, like, outside of like my family.
Mm-hmm.
You are literally one of three.
Of three? Oh, girl.
No. 1 of 4. I mean, if I'm counting my best friend Marcus, like, he will be the 4th person. But I don't really count. I don't really count him.
I say maybe 15 people have my address outside of my family. I have had a birthday party at my house too.
Yeah.
So that could be another thing.
I am very particular about who walks through that threshold. Because you see that sage up there? She sages.
The threshold has me hollering.
I don't play, honey. I do not play whatsoever. Like, are you coming up in here? What energy are you bringing?
Yeah.
Like, I do not play about that.
I think it's because, I guess it's because everyone I know, I've known for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. I don't really have any new friends.
And I guess that would be the difference because everybody that I would really know here is, you know, fresh.
Kind of new, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why I'm a little bit more, oh yeah, you can come. Because if I know you, I should have been known you.
Right.
By now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but it's nothing wrong with. I'm like, the sleeve will not let me be great. I look crazy.
But even when I was back out before I moved here, like,
you still like that.
When I was back home, I was not the person to invite people to my house. Like, oh, come over.
Oh yeah,
I was
come
the person
over. Let's watch TV.
I'm that person to go to everybody else's house.
I do like going to other people's houses
my welcome.
Oh yeah, I love going to other people's houses too. I really, really. It's something about not being in my house that feels nice.
Yeah.
So I love going to other people's houses too. Yeah, easily.
And if I'm coming to your house, that really means that I really fuck with you, and I'm definitely going to outstay my welcome. I really feel like people be like, okay, when is she gonna leave? Because I will stay on hours. I will stay for hours on end. This pretty much concludes today's episode. I want to thank you guys for listening and watching, and I also want to thank my good Ultraviolet, aka
I love Ultraviolet. Every time you say it, I'm like, I love that.
Yes, that's your name.
I love that. I've never thought about that. UV.
Yes. Okay. I want to thank you for coming on
yet again.
I mean, like I said before, she's definitely going to be a regular. Like at this point,
please.
At this point, you should pretty much be prepared to see her face.
Yeah, please.
Pretty much. So since we pretty much kind of went over a couple things today, just go ahead and relax, relate, and release into
the week.
Yeah. Until the next episode.
Until then.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, Pop and Talk.
Pop and Talk. Please.
I mean, because we got a whole bunch more.
Yeah, because we could definitely do another episode.
We could do another episode. What y'all need?
Sponsor
it up. And if you need us to run through them faster, I mean,
let's work together because this is definitely a Black-owned company. Black-owned. Hey, girl.
Let's do it.
But yeah, until the next episode, relax, relate, and release into the week. And make sure it is a great week on purpose.
On purpose.
Love you. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Ciao.
Not ciao.